It's the Defenders of Comics again.
Hey, we're here.
We're here. I am excited about this week. I am excited about Hawkeye, but I do want to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. Ticket
Lots of cool
sales
stuff.
are insane.
Through the roof. The hype is real.
Does it have a chance, do you think, to even get close to in-game numbers?
Wow, no.
Is that because of COVID? Do you think it would
Yeah.
have a chance if it was a normal year?
Yes. I think if we were in normal times, it would be. I think if it was a home run as a movie itself and everything kind of came together, yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be really close, if not overtaken, especially if it got into China and all that. Yeah, I think it'd give a run. It would give it a run for its money, but with the current climate still, and who knows if it gets China,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not gonna happen. But we'll see in the U.S. I think it's gonna be groundbreaking for the COVID era for a box office opening. So that should easily take the crown.
Well, I mean, pre-sales itself, how it's sounding is just insane.
Yeah, yeah. I think the hype is so strong that you're going to get a lot of that upfront demand. I still don't see it opening to whatever incredible number Endgame did, but it's gonna. I think we're gonna get over $150 million opening weekend at least, which is huge now.
Yeah.
For the COVID era. So,
Well,
and it could be more. It could be.
just so I can know, have you got our tickets yet?
Not yet, but I
Okay.
will. They'll be in our hands. Don't you worry.
Okay. I'm starting to get worried how they're all talking.
Yeah,
All right.
don't you worry.
I do want to get into more, but I think we need to start with I want to start with Hawkeye.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm liking the series. What are your first impressions? We both have watched all three series so far. So what do you think so far about it?
I really like it. Whatever expectations I had for it, I don't know if it like exceeded it greatly, but it's like, wow, everything I hoped it would be, it is. Funny, has that holiday feel, which is kind of cool to actually be in the holidays too. The action is good. Uh, you know, how we sometimes like to talk about how the cranky old guys on YouTube, oh, this is woke garbage. I don't understand where they see that. Clint's a badass in it. If
Are they
anything,
okay?
Kate
Are
is
they
a little
saying
bit.
that?
Yeah, well, yeah.
They are because I'm going to be honest. I've been so busy that I haven't been able to watch. I guess I'm floored with that because I don't see it at all.
And to be fair, to be totally fair, I haven't watched the videos. I've only seen their headlines, which is Hawkeye epic
Clickbait.
failure or Hawkeye woke garbage, and it's like, oh, come on, guys, it's not woke garbage in the slightest. So,
No. In
uh,
fact, this is the Hawkeye I have sort of begged to see.
yeah, I mean it really feels like, wow, this is where everyone would fall in love with Hawkeye, to see him as a complete badass, and not to always be around Thor and Iron Man and all these super extra heavyweights.
Yeah. And I think him and Kate Bishop, I think have a really good chemistry going on, sort of banter back and forth. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, they make a good team.
Yep. So what are your highs in the first 3 episodes, would you say right now?
Oh, really, the third episode was easily my favorite. I mean, the action scenes were great. I mean, we really got to see Clint do some awesome things with the
Yeah.
bow and arrow. And Kate was great too. And so, yeah, that would easily be my favorite. The whole car chase scene was stellar.
Yep.
Then it's the two of them, their interaction, and finally, I think for me, just spending some time with Clint as a character. Outside of Ultron, Age of Ultron, where we got introduced his family, he's always kind of got secondary spotlight, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So this feels really, really great.
Watching this so far, I am like begging for more Ronin stuff. Like
Ah,
I want to
agreed.
see it so much more. The character is so intriguing to me that I don't want to just see the bits and pieces what we're doing right now. I want to
I know.
actually see a whole. I could see a whole series of Ronin.
I agree, and I guess if I had one complaint about tonight's episode was that we got yet another tease of Ronin action. I mean, you saw glimpses of it, but and what did you think about Endgame? Just to go back to that, I was always disappointed in that shot of Ronin because it was all, oh hey, look, there's someone behind the glass, and we didn't actually see him doing a
Yeah,
lot of stuff until he landed and he did the whole sword thing and killed that guy, and then that was it. It's
yeah.
like, man, I really wanted a very clear, a visual attack of what this guy was doing, and you could really see him totally unleashed. And yeah, I'd like to see that again in this show. I don't know if we'll get it, but I would love to.
I guess what I'm disappointed in on Endgame, like you're saying, is when they did show Ronin, it was such a quick kind of thing, and I know there was so
Yeah,
much going on. But
right.
what we saw real quick on the third episode was way more than what we got on a big blockbuster movie. Even though you
Yeah,
don't really see Clint, but you know that's who it was.
yeah, exactly. So I'm with you. I would love to see more Ronin, and maybe there will be a scene still coming up where it's just full on Ronin,
Yep.
which would be pretty cool.
One of my favorite parts of episode 3 was when they're shooting, he's telling her to shoot the bow and arrow at the cars chasing them, and he's grabbing 4 of them out. And the one that she shoots explodes the van, and she goes, "There was 4 others worse than that one."
Right? Yeah, that's
I
pretty
just
funny.
love that whole
Yeah.
comedy part.
And the suction cup arrow, she's like, "What? What is this for?"
Yeah.
Oh, plunger arrow. Plunger arrow, that's what she called it. So,
So if we're talking about episode 3, though, we have to at least talk about this part.
yeah, for anyone watching, if you're wondering who is running the show or who Maya, aka Echo, answers to, this is the guy. So, do we all know who this is?
I mean, yes. I mean, we officially, I guess, don't because you haven't seen a face, but yes. I mean, we all know who this is.
Yeah, it's spoiler alert. It's Kingpin. So, and if anyone wants to go back and watch that scene again, he chuckles or laughs or something here, and it's clearly Vincent D'Onofrio's voice.
Mm-hmm.
So, if anyone's not familiar with the rumor, Kingpin is the big bad, who leads into Echo, as we know that's already been announced, Echo series, which then leads into Mr. Matt Murdock, Daredevil himself.
Mm.
So super exciting. Also, I got to give it up. We've been referencing him a lot in some of our YouTube videos and TikToks. Mr. Mikey Sutton called this a while ago, and he even got some flack for it. But it's clearly this is what's happening.
Are we going to
So
see then Daredevil in this also, or
yeah, he commented on that. I would I know I shouldn't even say this. He actually has sources. I don't, but I I'm always more likely nowadays to err with Marvel that it's going to be less instead of more sometimes.
WandaVision? That
Yes.
WandaVision 100% proved that to us.
Yeah. Yeah. He kind of thinks Daredevil's going to cameo. I think at best we get a cameo of maybe Matt Murdock. I really would be shocked if we see any reference to Daredevil.
So then,
Uh,
do you think they're going to get in some kind of trouble with the law that he has to come up?
you mean Matt Murdock?
Yeah, is that why we would see Matt Murdock? Is like
Yeah.
Clint and Kate get in trouble with the law?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it would be, honestly. I just feel like if we see anything Daredevil related, it would only be Matt Murdock in a super small cameo, maybe even in just his name somewhere.
Okay.
I really think they're going to save him for Spider-Man and then, really kind of announce, hey, Matt's coming back in Echo. Echo's kind of the unofficial season 4 of Daredevil, and then it's off and running for Daredevil and his own show and blah, 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 all the rest of the Marvel stuff he'll be involved in. That part is my opinion, but I'm going to be really shocked if we saw Daredevil in any capacity in this show.
Okay. Now, what did you think of Echo?
Yeah, I think she's really cool. I think she's really cool. I mean,
It.
she's what I thought she would be. I mean, they're not going to make her. She's going to have her own show, so she's got to be kick ass. And here's what shocked me, and you probably knew this too, but apparently this is like her first acting gig. Like
Oh, I did not know that.
she she doesn't have anything, which I thought, wow, how did you get a Marvel
Yeah.
gig? But she seems good to me, so
This might sound bad, and I'm not meaning it bad. Is it easier than if it's her first one to be deaf?
yeah. I mean, from what I understand, she's deaf in real life, so uh, that I mean, maybe if they're saying, hey, we want an authentic deaf Native American actress, the pool may not be very large,
Yeah.
so you know,
So you got, if we get Matt Murdock in here,
hmm
you have Echo that is deaf and doesn't have a foot leg, like bottom of her leg. You have Clint that's going deaf, and you have Matt Murdock is blind. Have you ever seen 3 different things like that in one
no,
show?
that would be. I mean, that alone would be like, okay, are we trying to check every box we can or
Yeah, no
what?
kidding.
But I mean, it's all comic authentic, so Clint is mostly deaf and Echo is completely deaf and Matt's blind. So it would be interesting to see, though. Hey, here's something though, and I don't know if anyone wants to comment on this, and you might be surprised, Coach. I don't have any recollection of Echo missing a leg in the comics. I mean, I knew obviously she was deaf, but I'm gonna have to go back and look at stuff. I don't recall that being a part of her character at all.
So wonder why then they made it a part of her character, unless this person playing it is actually had it happen to her in
I
real
know.
life.
I was scratching my head like, wait, what? She's missing part of her leg, and maybe that's a thing that in the more recent books that I haven't read yet that she lost a leg, but I don't remember that being
Hmm.
part of her at all. So maybe I'm wrong though.
What'd you think about this?
Yeah, I didn't catch that until afterwards. I was looking at that and I was like, oh, what's that say? So it happened and then it got large. I was like, that was the coolest. That was
Yeah.
great, man. That
I
was
was
so
telling my
awesome.
kids right when I saw that I was like, yep, yep, that was pretty cool. That was
Yeah.
really
So when
cool.
it happened, I was like, oh, Pim, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I was hoping we would see at the end just a little bit of like Kingpin, at least the face or something. And what scares me
Yeah.
about this is we've heard, that there's a bigger guy that they have to answer to. We actually heard that from Clint and them. Um, but what worries me is this might be the only time we see Kingpin. Is just the
Yeah.
hand.
It could be. According to some sources, episode 4 next week is going to break the internet. I mean, that term gets used too loosely these days, but so maybe we get more of a real Kingpin. If we don't next week, then I agree with you. We're going to get just what we got. But something's supposed to happen kind of big-ish. So, we'll see.
What do you think of Swordsman?
Well, I'm glad you brought him up because I really am interested in what they're doing with his with his character. I'm really hoping there's a connection between him and Clint, because in the comics it's Jack or Jacques who trained Clint
Oh,
in the
really?
circus. Yeah.
Okay.
And so in the books, he was a criminal, and as a lot of us might know or might not know, Clint started out as a criminal,
Hmm.
and so he was doing petty thievery and ran afoul of Iron Man and fought him a few times, and then he went good, and then of course has been an Avenger ever since. So I'll be real interested. I'm kind of hoping that's like, oh wow, they know each other. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if they're going to go that route. I'm actually hoping they at least have him suit up in something, because he's a really kind of an interesting visual character. But I don't know if they'll do that either. But they're hinting at something. He's obviously an accomplished swordsman, hence the name Swordsman.
Yeah.
So
And obviously, in this picture right here, Clint already knows that that's his sword.
yeah,
Um, so something's not going to go well on this. I mean, it just can't.
yeah. I'm still unsure. They're being so heavy-handed with Jack being a bad guy that I think they're going to go the other way. Like he's not going to exactly be bad, but we'll see.
Hmm.
I'm going to be interested to see where they go with this. I just hope he's not underutilized. I hope he gets a little bit of play or action scenes. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, why'd you even cast that role or
At
utilize that
least
character?
we've seen more with this role than what we did of Wanda Vision, though. I can say that.
As far as
I
Wonder
mean, he's
Man,
already, yeah, he's already had a sword fight. He's
yeah, that's
already,
true.
so
He's
there's
had
already,
he's something's happened already. Yeah.
all right. Next
All
thing
right.
I want to talk about, and we discuss it a lot. We have posted YouTube shorts and TikToks about this, but I think the smoke is really going right now, and I think we're going to see something soon on Henry Cavill signing again as Superman, and then doing something eventually with Black Adam.
Yeah, I mean, there's smoke. I mean, there's the Snyderverse keeps trending almost every other day. Henry Cavill trends, Superman trends. So there's a lot of smoke, a ton of smoke. It's practically a forest fire at this point.
Wasn't wasn't the Snyderverse trending more than what Spider-Man No Way Home was for a while?
I think so. In fact, they just had I don't know, they call it some Hamba, I don't know, some kind of breakdown of all social media in regards to the Snyderverse, or more specifically, the Snyder Cut Justice League movie. And it's garnered 334.7 billion social media impressions. I'm not sure what they define as an impression,
Wow.
but 34.7 billion. And in fact, there's almost 2 million like websites devoted just to Snyderverse. 2 million. I mean, that's worldwide, but still 2 million all websites just devoted to that.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's the Snyderverse is huge. Uh, and of course, we'll see what happens, but all signs point to when the merger goes through, probably second quarter of next year. A lot of the stuff's going to officially get announced. Maybe some of it sooner, especially the Cavill business with
So
The Rock and all
so
the hints that they give.
you think 100% this is happening?
Well, I don't want to say 100%, but I mean, at one point I would have been like, I'm 60 to 70. I'm getting more into the 80 to 90%. Something is happening. Now, until they actually announce it, you can't say 100% because it's Hollywood. Things could change, perhaps.
Right.
I don't know. But, you know, the way they say it is that he has signed. For how many movies, we're not sure. That gets muddy, but he's definitely going to be cameoing in The Flash and 100% at the end of Black Adam. Like, those are done deals. And then that is going to lead into a Man of Steel solo movie sequel. And then, of course, the big one, you know, Black Adam versus Superman in Black Adam 2. And then the biggest of big news, um, going into what they hope would be a Black Adam 3, but it's really a JSA versus Justice League movie. Now, that would be so awesome. And that's going to be hard to pull off. We're talking so many years from now, and are you going to get Gal to still be Wonder Woman, even Momoa still be Aquaman?
They're getting so. I mean, every year that
you're
goes by, they're getting older.
well. I think that sounds great, and I think that will be their goal. It's like, well, who's going to actually be in the Justice League? I mean, you could still say that for the JSA because we haven't even seen them yet, but
Yeah.
Justice League is going to be hard to pull off. But that's what they want, and that's what they're thinking of. And hey, take it step by step. They've got Cavill back, more than likely. Again, as we've said over and over, his agent is the same agent as The Rock. This makes total sense. The Rock has a ton of pull, a ton of power. If he wants Henry Cavill back, that's going to go a long way to make these things happen. So it's
Yep.
all lining up.
Yep. I want to go.
Fingers
I guess.
crossed.
Yeah, I want it to happen bad. I want to go into Spider-Man No Way Home now, just a little bit. I don't want to go forever because we're going to be talking about this for weeks.
Yeah.
When are they finally going to, or are they not going to? Because I thought it might have been when the tickets went on sale. When are they going to announce this?
I have
3.
Yeah, even the insiders keep getting this wrong because they were told that the second big trailer was going to have Andrew Garfield, and then that they were going to do one final third trailer, and that was where Toby was going to drop. Well, that didn't happen. I don't think we're going to get a third trailer. Well, then it was like, oh, hey, no, Monday, Cyber Monday is Spider Monday. And that's when tickets go on sale, and that's when we're going to probably have finally Toby and Andrew announced to spike those ticket sales. Well, that didn't happen either. So, in my opinion, at this point, we are not going to get anything until opening day, and finally
Really?
people see the movie, and then once the secret's out, they're like, hey, everyone knows that they're in the movie, and here we go. That's my prediction at this point. We'll see.
The only thing we actually heard about was there's a new trilogy coming out, and then it was, and Tom Holland is going to be part of it.
Yeah, again, the insiders are, well, I should say not insiders. Mikey Sutton specifically called this one. I heard him talk about it several times, 2-3 months ago. A new trilogy with Sony and Marvel. The college years, Tom Holland's going to be in all three. So, and it was verbatim what they did announce on Monday. That's what's going to happen.
Now, on top of that, they're saying that Miles Morales is going to be a part of it.
Yes.
I'm guessing they're going to now expand the Spider-Verse even more. Is that what you would predict?
Yeah, they're going to. I mean, we've already had Venom. We've already had, well, Morbius will be coming out. We've got Kraven the Hunter filming soon. You've got Spider-Woman filming soon. And then you've got like Madam Web, and then Silk on Amazon. So you got all these Spider-Verse things happening, and I think some of the solo stuff they were planning, I think they're gonna just incorporate into the new trilogy, like Black Cat. She's gonna be a major love interest for Spider-Man because she's
That's
always
cool.
in love with Spider-Man, but she thinks Peter's a dork, so she only wants him when he's Spider-Man. And then apparently they're gonna throw in the Amazing Friends for us old timers.
I love that cartoon.
Yeah, so I guess Iceman and Firestar are gonna be in college with Peter. So I think all that. I think Silver Sable will probably also show up in the trilogy. So yeah, all these expanding storylines, and then of course, we still have the Venom versus Spider-Man showdown that's headed our way sometime.
I still, and I might be like totally wrong, but I still think that might involve Toby and not Tom.
Yeah, you're right. The rumor here's a crazy rumor is that they might want to do a fourth Toby Spider-Man movie. That they try to finagle Sam Raimi to come back and direct, and it be the swan song for Toby. He might even kind of die in it, not kind of die in it, and that be the Logan type movie for Toby and that Spider-Man universe. So, and then maybe, yeah, I mean, would Venom be a part of actually facing Toby and being in that world instead of Tom? So I think that's definitely a possibility.
Okay. So I'm not that crazy.
No, I think it, like I said, if there's actually any truth to Toby getting a fourth Spider-Man movie, well, anything's possible.
Yeah.
So there's a
Is
lot
there
of things brewing.
is there anything you're worried about with Spider-Man?
In regards to like specifically this movie,
Yeah.
or just, yeah, I mean, I think we're all still a little like it's going to be a little overstuffed. I mean, I think we all should get ready for the villains to not be that don't expect a lot of character development with any of them outside of maybe the Goblin. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see a lot of scenes with the Lizard explaining what's going on. I actually feel like Jamie Foxx will be just barely in it as Electro. Um, so, and I think that'll be kind of disappointing if they shortchange them too much.
I
So
just
I'm a
don't
little
know
worried
the
about that.
time. How are they going to have so much time to do each one of them a decent amount with
Yeah,
Doctor Strange, with all that's going on?
that's what I agree. I mean, it's supposedly a 2.5 hour movie, so it's one of Marvel's longest, other than Endgame. But so you think, well, I guess there's going to be at least some time, but I don't know. That's a lot of characters to try to fit in. I mean, then let's throw in like you said, Doctor Strange, and then Peter's supporting cast, and then if you even throw in the Matt Murdock cameo, you got Happy.
Yep.
It's a lot of spinning, and then of course the biggest being Andrew and Toby. That's a lot of plates to be in the air. Like, you've seen shows where they pull it off, and I still think Infinity War is superior to Endgame. But as a whole, both those movies have this huge cast, and you don't feel anyone got shortchanged.
Right.
You might not like how Hulk or Fat Thor were, but they still had a lot of screen time, so they fit people in. And it can be done, but I'm not gonna say I'm not worried about it.
Okay. That's fair. Um, is there anything major more that you want to get to before we get to our fun thing?
Yeah, one thing. We're gonna do a fun little TikTok tomorrow. I haven't even told Coach about this yet, but it involves the end credit scene for No Way Home. So be on the lookout for that. We'll post it tomorrow. It's a spoiler, so we'll put up warnings.
Oh
Uh,
no.
so it's kind of
Okay.
cool though.
That'll be fun. I'm ready for that.
All right.
All right. So right now, I am gonna get it ready. We are going to do something fun. We are going to rank the 2021 movies of Marvel or the Disney Plus series, or there's one that's not even in Disney Plus that you wanted to put up there. And I haven't seen that one, so you're the word on that one. So we
Yeah, I
are going to
loved it.
rank them, and it's going to be all of them except for Spider-Man. We're even putting Hawkeye into it because I feel we've
Yeah.
seen enough of it to know where it should be ranked.
Yeah, I think so.
So do we got any rules on this? I think some of the ranking has to do with where the MCU is going. is also an important part of it.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so this is what we got. And I don't know if you can see it real well. Let me zoom in a
All
little
right,
bit.
we got 10, right? We got 10.
Yep, and here are the movies.
Ooh,
So it's all of them. It's
yeah.
Black Widow, it's Eternals, it's Falcon and Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, Loki, Shang-Chi, Venom, Let There Be
Okay.
Carnage. We put that in there because it is a Marvel thing. Wanda Vision, What If, and Hit Monkey.
Okay.
So I don't know where you want to start. I don't know if you want to start with the number one. I don't know if
Oh
you want to
no.
start in chronological order.
No, let's go 10 to 1.
Okay, and we can move them around too. So if we put them together and you say no, I've decided I
Okay.
want something somewhere else. And
Yeah.
also you are the definitive answer. I can try to argue, but I mean you know this more than I do. So you're the
Well, I mean, that's all
boss at the
opinion
end.
based. That's okay.
Okay, so
All right,
what do
let's
you
do
put
it.
at the bottom? I
All
mean, I'm
right.
gonna put Hit Monkey, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really say
Yeah,
that.
I totally get that. And I would be with you. So, um this is going to be a little shocking and controversial. And I've really thought about this, and I don't want to be all, pouting about a certain storyline of this movie, but I told myself, take that out of it. What'd you still think of the movie? And I still thought it was not good. So for me, dead last at 10 is Black Widow.
Oh,
Yeah,
you were putting it right there.
yeah, it's controversial, but I stand by it.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. And see, I'm in between two. Obviously, I'm not going to say Hit Monkey, so I'm going to say what because I haven't seen it, so it's not fair.
Sure.
My pick, and I was questioning all day today: is it even? Is it below or right above? Is I almost think Falcon and Winter Soldier is right there with Black Widow.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I think for me, I had just enough. I thought they did John Walker so well to me that bumped it above Black Widow for me.
Okay.
Um, and as we've said before, I was pretty, I was pretty butthurt about Taskmaster. That's what I told myself. I said, what if Tony Masters was still Taskmaster in that movie? How would I feel?
Yeah.
And I would have felt like he got totally shortchanged still with the pathetic action scene at the end, I wanted to like this movie so much, and I did. I don't. I mean, it's one that I'm not. Maybe years from now, I'll be like, oh, I'll soften on it. Like it wasn't that bad, but it just doesn't work for me right now.
The one thing that I like about it actually the most is we were introduced to Yelena, and I think
True.
she's going to be a star.
That is definitely the bright
So,
spot of the movie. You're not wrong on that.
so I could argue Yelena is what you said with John Walker, as
Yeah,
much vice
yeah,
versa.
yeah, yeah.
But we'll go with you since you are.
Hey, no, I think it's great that we have our own too. So, um, but that was that was it for me. So,
Okay, so what are you putting at 9?
well, okay. So let's be fair. Since you haven't seen it, I'll go ahead and put Hit Monkey here. But my gosh, I enjoy the hell out of that.
Okay, well,
Uh,
explain a little bit.
it's a it's a hilarious comedy action, rude action too. It's R rated, and it's just got one of my favorite actors right now. It's just Jason Sudeikis is so
Yeah,
great. I've loved him since Saturday Night Live, and now he's taking his career to the next level with Ted Lasso, which I cannot say
that's
good
funny.
about that show. Gosh, it's great. And so he's in this every episode, and it's hilarious. But the
Why do you
action is great too.
Why do you think they? And I know they did because it's rated R, but when are they going to make a Disney Plus adult section with compared to the kids? Because I know it is in overseas.
You know, from everything I've heard, they're just not going to do that. And since they own controlling interest, and I think soon be the whole thing, they're just going to use Hulu as their R-rated Marvel content. Because funny enough, when I'm watching Hitmonkey, it's like, oh, guess what's streaming on Hulu now? Deadpool 1 and 2.
Mm.
So from what everything we've heard, the true R-rated material will just go to Hulu, and the borderline stuff like Moon Knight and probably Ghost Rider will still be on Disney Plus.
Ooh, that's gonna be big time borderline too. Then probably.
Yeah.
All right, number 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you, Coach, and put Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that.
yeah, yeah. And I think all your reasons are right. I mean, what I loved about it for me, I still love Sam as the Falcon. When Bucky's
Sebastian Stan was
yeah,
amazing in it.
Bucky stands out huge. I thought John Walker was done perfectly. But what didn't work was the villain. That was a total shit show. Terrible, just
Yeah,
absolutely executed so poorly. And they got pretty heavy-handed with the social commentary, enough that it distracted you at times. And then the speech at the end was nauseating. So it's like, oh, come on, guys, you can do better than this.
yeah, I'm with you. I agree. Okay,
Okay.
we have now left Eternals, Hawkeye, Loki, Shang-Chi, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, WandaVision, and What If.
Okay. So
I
I
know
get.
my answer.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I know mine too. I'm probably gonna go. It's close, but I'm just because it's a animated. I'm gonna go ahead and put What If here.
And that's what I was leaning for. And it's my reasoning is I don't think it has as big of where the direction MCU is going
Yeah,
as much as what the other ones are going to be doing.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I think there are the multiverse aspects, and we keep hearing things about maybe she's gonna come back as Captain Carter live action, but it still feels a little detached, a little kind of like it's fine. The good episodes were stellar. I mean, those last couple episodes were
Hmm.
wow, so good. So for what it is, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, I can't deny that at all. It's not, I don't know, it's just not,
Doesn't
I
feel
don't
as
see
relevant.
everything happening in that is going to be what happens in the MCU.
Yeah, it feels a little like it doesn't feel as relevant. You know
Yeah.
what? Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
All right. So going in the 6th spot.
Well, I think I'm going to put here Venom.
I think that's fair. I think Venom Let There Be Carnage was really good. I enjoyed it. I think they're gonna push Venom to be even bigger than what they originally thought he was gonna be.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything that really happened in Let There Be Carnage is going to move forward in the MCU.
No, I agree. I mean, yeah, it's and the movie itself, maybe for me, I enjoyed it, but I think it was slightly disappointing. Um, People thought the action was really good. I thought it was not enough action,
I
or it was.
agree.
I didn't think it was. I mean, there was only spoiler, only one real battle between Venom and Carnage. I was like,
Hmm.
well, that seemed a little short.
And no offense,
So
we saw it in almost the whole trailer.
I agree. Yeah, there were a lot of the shots that were used in the trailer.
Hmm.
So yeah. Yeah, I felt just a slightly underwhelming. I really enjoyed Tom Hardy and Venom, the two of them together
Yep.
bantering. That was funny. But some of it otherwise felt like, oh man, this could have been a little more.
Yeah. I
But I
agree.
still enjoyed it. Like I said, it's better than Black Widow for me. So
All right. This is where it's going to get interesting for us, I think.
yeah, Yeah, it's gonna be
So
tough.
we're on number 5. Okay, so and I'm gonna say first, and you can overthrow me.
Sure.
But even though I'm enjoying this one more than some of the others, I think Hawkeye is the least important of the 5 that's left of what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, I think by the end of the series, I bet you we change it. But based on right now, I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay. But I mean I see Loki as being a vital, even though
Yeah.
I'm personally liking Hawkeye more than Loki right now, but Loki opened the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Loki's extremely important. And I guess just to say on the Hawkeye thing, I think it's gonna really lead into the street heroes, whereas Loki is the whole cosmic and the greater Marvel universe, the endgame level stuff. Whereas Hawkeye's gonna go into Daredevil and Echo and Kingpin and maybe even a little bit of Moon Knight. You know, all these street characters. That's gonna be the huge. This is the opening for all that.
and which personally I'm more into that. That's more me, or the street heroes and that kind of thing.
It's hard. I love the cosmic stuff so much, but I do love the street ones too. I mean, I love the down and dirty vigilantes, Punisher, Daredevil, Moon Knight. Ooh, yeah, I love that stuff. So, yep.
All right, here's where I think we are going to go completely opposite of thinking.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's one movie on here that completely in love with.
There's one movie in here that I know you like that I think I like even more than what you do.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. Okay. You go first here. You go
Okay,
ahead.
so we're in the 4th position. So out of these 3 left in the 4th position, in my opinion, I'm going to say is Loki.
I uh I agree. For personal enjoyment, I totally agree with that. I mean, there's something about WandaVision I just really freaking like that
I think
show.
Wanda Vision, it was the first one that kicked off. Um, I think you just saw how badass WandaVision is going to be. It introduced new characters. Monica Rambeau is going to be a big part of the
Yeah.
Marvels,
Yes.
and
Yes.
WandaVision was more enjoyable for me than Loki.
I totally agree with that. And I recognize and like we just said, Loki's super important. And I love the whole time variant aspect that they brought to it and Owen Wilson was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But here's for me personally, just at the end of the day, no matter how much I like Tom Hiddleston as Loki, I like the other characters better from my youth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when when I see Jeremy Renner nail Hawkeye as a character, it's like, well, I'm gonna enjoy that no matter how well Tom plays Loki because I just like Hawkeye better as a character. So,
Yeah,
and the same goes for Vision and Scarlet Witch. So,
yeah. Okay, here's 3 big ones.
oh man,
Can
well,
really a Disney Plus series be with these 3 right now? That's
yeah, I think totally. I
I
mean,
know what my number 3 is, and I 100% watched it, and you know what my litmus test is what I think my wife would think of it.
okay.
So my number
So,
3 is Eternals.
yeah, I thought so. Yeah. You know, Coach, I don't think we've even really talked about Eternals or what you. I haven't talked to you about what your opinion is of Eternals, so please share it with us.
I liked Eternals, but I can tell you watching it, and I don't know near what you knew about it.
Sure.
It was confusing a little bit for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and if it's confusing for me, my wife is just like gonna be, I don't have any idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I understand how important the Celestials are and all that kind of stuff. I get it. And I know that's the direction that it's probably going to go. That might be the big next Avengers, that they're going against.
Yeah, yeah.
But as an all in all, it missed for me. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it just didn't explain enough.
Yeah, and that's probably where I'm like, I've got all the knowledge from the books that I'm bringing to it that I already know,
Yeah.
and it actually exceeded my expectations for what they did cover.
Yep.
So
That's
for
why you
me,
trump me here.
yeah, and I mean, this is the weird part. I took my wife too, could give two hoots about the cosmic side of things. I mean, she's just like, I like Marvel, it's fine. But she shockingly really liked it, which I was scratching my head at. I was like, you did?
Hmm.
Yeah, I really liked it. I liked it as much as Shang-Chi. I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty cool.
And my
But
wife is loving Hawkeye, and my
yeah,
wife really likes Shang-Chi.
yeah, my wife loves Shang-Chi, but here's the other one. It's like she just hasn't been too interested in watching Hawkeye. So,
Hmm.
you just never really know, I guess. But to the greater point of what you're saying about Eternals, I think it shows with the B cinema score, and it's doing very good business at the box office, but it's not quite doing Marvel good at the box office. Indicates that it didn't connect with the greater audience like maybe they were hoping. But for someone like me, wow, I love the heady sci-fi stuff, the more cosmic and out there as you can get without it being so weird that
Yeah.
you don't even know what's going on, the better for me.
Okay.
I love the whole origin of humanity, origin of the universe. The deeper you can go, the better for me. So it checks all the boxes. And plus, I went into it thinking, oh, I hear it's really boring. I
Hmm.
hear it's really slow. And I walked out thinking like, wait, what? I thought there was tons of action in it. I mean, I thought the action was way better than Black Widow. Again, I don't mean to bash on Black Widow, but um, I'm like, Icarus has that Superman feel.
Yeah.
I I just loved it. It's one of my top 10 Marvel movies.
Oh
So
my.
yeah, yeah, it's up there for me, big time. And then you add on, in my opinion, the two greatest, I don't want to say greatest, but one of the most memorable, both of them, end credit scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we got introduced to not one, not two, but if we want to be technical, four new superheroes in the MCU.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. We went and saw it, and my son's girlfriend, she gasped at the first end credit scene when, spoiler alert, when Harry Styles walks out as Arrows, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Harry Styles!" so okay, but that's for me. So let's go with. We have to be a little bit. We can compromise here and be like, "Hey, look, as a movie as a whole for the general audiences, I think we do have to put it at 3, even though for me it's higher. But I think 3 is
Wow.
probably an appropriate place.
Now, see, I would have been okay with you saying WandaVision needs to be at 3.
Um, I think though people loved WandaVision, and it was that first Disney Plus show, and the buzz and the discussion. Even though the other shows on Disney Plus have all been huge successes, none of them have matched the media or the talking points like WandaVision did. So,
I'm putting all of them right here at 3 right now.
okay.
So, so you're okay. Do we both agree with Shang-Chi's number 1?
I totally do. That movie was
Okay.
phenomenal. I
It was
loved every.
great.
Yeah, it's so good.
I wasn't going into it ready for it to be great. It was.
Yeah, I mean it's got rewatchability factor times 10.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm a sucker for Asian cinema. I mean, I've grown up on Asian cinema. Anything fighting, karate, any kind of martial arts, let's say,
They
is
nailed it.
oh my, yeah. That's the thing. Is like we didn't get garbage like Iron Fist martial arts. We got finally true Asian cinema level
Hmm.
choreography, and that's what they had to do, and they delivered.
I agree. I'm with you. Um, the only part that I actually wasn't really a big fan of was Abomination.
It seemed out of place or unnecessary, like, and I don't want to split hairs, but I'm like, wait, why is Wong friendly with Abomination? I don't need to be explained everything, but that just seemed like what?
I didn't understand it. I mean,
I mean,
I was like thrown off.
it's like, okay, hopefully this gets paid off later, like we get an explanation in Thunderbolts or something, but I'm like, okay, I get it if Abomination is fighting, but then he and Wong are actually friendly, and yeah, didn't understand it.
Yeah,
Although visually, I thought he looked better than he did in the Incredible Hulk, so that's a plus.
I agree with that. So you're saying WandaVision 2, Eternals
Yeah,
3.
yeah, I like that ranking. Yeah,
So we got Shang-Chi number 1, WandaVision 2, Eternals 3, Loki 4, Hawkeye 5, with the chance to go over Loki, I think. I
I
don't
think
think he has a chance to go over Eternals.
no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. But I think if things play out like we think they might, it could easily jump for me above Loki.
And then Venom, Let There Be Carnage 6, What If 7, Falcon and the Winter Soldier 8, Hit Monkey 9, and Black Widow 10.
I'm sticking by that one. I like it. So
Okay.
you gotta get to watching Hit Monkey.
I do. I got to figure out how to get Hulu, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's worth your time. It's pretty good.
So I think this is worth doing. We're going to do a couple more of these at some point, and we'll go from there. But I sort of like that. And I think the obvious number one would be Spider-Man, but it's pretty good to do these top 10 without it.
Yeah, and here's the thing: you never want to assume something's going to be so amazing
True.
because although I love it now, at the time everyone thought Superman or BVS, Batman versus Superman, should be an easy billion. Everyone on the planet knows these two characters. How could it not make a gazillion dollars just on the name alone? Well, it didn't, and a lot of people hated it. So you never want to assume something of the level of Spider-Man with what we think's in store is going to hit the home run. But you know what, you say that earlier. What are you most worried about? That's what I'm most worried about, it being like not meeting or even coming close to our expectations, and that could hurt.
And I think the only thing that scares me is the expectations has gotten so high.
Another good point. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? Just imagine. I don't think I'm 99% sure this isn't going to happen, but if for some reason we watch the movie and Andrew and Toby really weren't in it,
It would be horrible. It would kill it.
it'd kill it.
Now, I'm
Kill
going
it.
to say, with them signing for what we're hearing, the trilogy with Tom Holland, I think Tom Holland is a knockout win for an actor. And I think trying to wrap him up into this role with nothing's really bigger than Spider-Man and Marvel.
No,
That
you're right.
I think they created a gigantic winner, in my opinion.
Yeah, and what I think with this new trilogy will get some of the naysayers out there who say a lot of like, "Hey, get rid of the Iron Man Jr. crap, and I'll like these movies." And I kind of agree with that a little bit. I love the movies, but I will enjoy seeing him become the true Spider-Man, where
Mm-hmm.
he's the genius, and he's doing his tech, and he's Spider-Man. He's not reliant on a mentor like Iron Man or what
Yeah.
maybe might be Doctor Strange a little in this one. So in this new trilogy, the college years, I think for some of the naysayers that are get bugged by those aspects, I think we'll finally be like, okay, they're past that. He's Spider-Man now.
I still think something's up with Doctor Strange in this. I
I
mean,
do too. I do too. Doesn't seem right, does it?
no. And then I also think, well, my question was when I heard he's signing a trilogy deal. What's up, Sam? Is any of those the new Avengers coming out? Is that towards it?
Yeah, I do wonder how the new Avengers, what that's going to be like. How's that going to play out? I mean, is he not going to be in the Avengers? I find that hard to believe.
The only
So,
reason he wouldn't is because he's big enough to have a big box office by himself compared to the Avengers need
yeah,
the whole thing.
I
Hey, Sam,
agree.
I'm going to show Sam real quick what we did. We did a 2021 ranking of all Marvel movies and shows, without obviously Spider-Man. And this is what we got. We got Shang-Chi 1, Wanda Vision 2, Eternals 3, Loki 4, Hawkeye 5, Venom Let There Be Carnage 6, What If, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hit Monkey, and Black Widow. And I know Sam well enough that he's not going to agree. I
I'm
don't
pretty
think he likes
sure.
Shang-Chi.
Oh, he didn't? I was thinking he thought Eternal sucked, but maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember.
He might have.
I'm
I
gonna,
like
I'm
the
gonna,
list.
yeah, I do too. And I am an Eternals apologist. I really like that movie. So it worked almost everything other than I wasn't a fan of Ajax in it, and I love Salma Hayek, but she was just kind of meh. But everyone else was stellar.
I don't know what he's asking. Sam's asking in Doctor Strange from What If? Oh,
Uh,
no, we're talking Doctor Strange. We just feel he is different in the Spider-Man. I don't think this is going to be what we're used to with Doctor Strange. And in fact, it could maybe even not be Doctor Strange.
that's our theory. That is not really Doctor Strange. That's either probably Nightmare or somebody else in control of Doctor Strange. Well, we'll see. We could be way off, but it's something about how he talks in the trailers. I was like, that just doesn't seem like Doctor
Yeah.
Strange.
Winking and
Right. And then
the
he's like,
whole thing.
oh, don't worry. Wong's like, you can't do that. He's like, nah, we got this. I'm like, maybe. We'll see. We might
Yeah.
be wrong.
I don't really have much else. Do you?
No, I think that was a good rundown, and I really like our list. So,
Yeah.
but hey, I think there's going to be some cool stories coming out, and here before Spider-Man, and then after Spider-Man. I think it's going to be crazy. And then get ready for 2022 if you're a DC fan. There's going to be
Oh, quit teasing.
the dam is going to break. We've got Cavill. We've got Ben Affleck back. We've got Ben Affleck as Batman in the Batgirl movie that's filming now.
The
We have
Rock.
we have The Rock. We've got announcement after announcement after announcement for DC HBO Max stuff. So get ready.
I hope so. God, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
All right, that's going to be it.
All right, everyone. We'll see ya.